Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So I'm hoping you really benefit from this video because I'm going to debug a couple of things that are taught in society and unfortunately aren't actually very accurate. Starting from the fact that saving makes you rich. Now I've spoken about this a few times. I've told you guys you need to invest your money, you need to make your money bring friends back, and you need to sort of make money before you start trying to save money. I mean, especially in these tough times. Look, put it like this. If you save £100 this month, you can't save £100 next month again. You can't save £100 after that. I mean, by the way, I mean £100 and then £200 and then £300. It's not possible. You can't keep saving £300, £400, £500 every single month because things are getting more and more expensive. You have to learn to make more money. And that, by the way, is very difficult to do in a job because the other thing that we debug, when you're earning a salary and you get promoted by £5,000. So let's say, for example, you're on a £30,000 a year salary and your promotion gets you £35,000 a year. Now you're making £5,000 more a year. But in reality, you're making about £200 a month, which is nothing. In the idea of you can't really get promoted by £5,000 every year. I mean, some people might, but it's very, very, very hard. And for the generic brothers and sisters, you can't look to get promoted by £5,000 every year. It's just not realistic. So if you're getting promoted by £5,000 every single year, you're making £200 extra a year. If you think to yourself you want to have kids, a family, then you're in trouble because that comes with expenses. You cannot, in essence, keep getting promoted and be in a situation where you'll have enough. The reality is you will be in a situation where you start working at 21, you finish at 65, and you keep trying to get more and more, a bit more, a bit more, a bit more. By the age of 65, you might just save 40, 50, 60,000 pounds after working so many years and feel like, yeah, I can retire a little bit. Look, my brothers and sisters, is that really a way to go for you to just work for the rest of your life? For you to work a job, by the age of 65, retire with 50, 60,000 pounds in your bank account? Is that how you want to live your life? Like, some people will be like, I'm living my life for my child. For example, let's debug something else. Mortgages, getting a house, and everyone wants to get a house and everyone wants to be really happy because that's what society teaches you, get a house. But let me ask you, honestly speaking, how many people do you know that have bought their house? Technically, it will get you financial freedom, right? Well, how many people do you know that buy their houses on a mortgage, continue to pay it off, and they're extremely wealthy now? It's very difficult. Like, especially, by the way, away from the fact that mortgages are not permissible, but let's take into account that someone gets a mortgage now and they are living in the house. You're living in your house. That money is not making money for you. You buy a house for 300,000 pounds, for example, 300,000 pounds. And now, after 30 years, that house is worth 650,000 pounds. It's doubled. And you're like, see that? Abu Musa, I told you, my house is doubled in value. But my brother or my sister, understand something. You're 65, 60 years old. Your house is doubled in price. You got one foot in the grave. You're going to leave your house for the children. You didn't even get to, use that money. You didn't even get to benefit from that money. So what was the point? Like, I don't understand what the point was. Now, debugging the other thing. Look, saving, when it comes to saving, it is a myth, okay? The banks tell you, save, you should save and that will get you financial freedom. Okay, let's look at this then. Well, do they save your money? What do they do with your money? I mentioned this before, right? What do the banks do with your money? They invest your money. Or the banks don't even invest your money. What are you doing? Why are you putting it in the banks thinking that you're going to make more money by saving it when the banks themselves don't save your money? How does that make sense? So you now think saving is going to make you more, right? Saving and saving and saving. Yes, I'm going to now be financially free at the end of continually saving. But if that was the case, then why would banks not save it? But they have to invest your money because they realize by investing your money, they make your money. That debug something else, taxes. Look, the reality is only the lower class really pay taxes. People who work jobs pay taxes. The wealthy, the rich, the people who own companies and are doing really well for themselves, not small businesses, but well for themselves. Do you really think they pay taxes? They don't pay taxes. They have a lot of expenses. And because of their expenses, you'll be very surprised they don't pay a lot of tax. Offshore accounts. A lot of these big businesses have offshore accounts. They don't pay taxes. A lot of the system is designed for the rich. They don't pay taxes. Only people in the working class actually pay the taxes. But in reality, the rich don't pay their taxes. Debugging another myth, it's extremely hard to start a business. Not everyone can start a business. It's very hard to make money. Reality is, you're taught that, but you never tried that. The people that make these myths up and make these statements up haven't actually started a business, haven't attempted to make money. And the reality is this, when you take risks, when you go for it, when you take the steps, it actually becomes possible. It's impossible for you guys to attain something without playing. Let me give you an example. You want to do really well at football. You want to score all the goals. You want to become the top scorer in the league, but you're sitting on the bench. How are you going to become the top scorer in the league? In fact, how are you going to score anything? You're not even playing. The reality is most people are not even playing. You can't do anything. You can't succeed. You can't achieve anything if you're not even playing. So, is it hard to make money? No, I don't believe it is. I actually think it's a case of doing A, B, C, D, E continuously, not giving up, not failing, and inshallah, making dua to Allah, and Allah will definitely bless you with it. But most people will hide behind the fact that it's difficult because you've been told. You haven't tried. Most people think it's very, very difficult to start a business, but they haven't tried. So try it. I'm not saying every single person is going to start a business and become successful. That's not true. But I do think that you should try and only then make a decision, because if you try, you might make some money and say, yeah, it wasn't that hard, but it's not for me. That's fair enough. So hopefully I've debugged some myths. And if you like these kind of videos, then let me know in the comments below and like this video. Make sure if you have any messages or anything like that, hit me up on Instagram, send me a DM. Inshallah, I try to reply as much as I can. But that's all from me today, man. You guys are amazing. Barakallah feek. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.